Now is the time to create a mission or a personalized goal. This lunation will give you the security needed for success because this full moon requires an optimistic approach to life. On June 3rd or 4th, depending on your time zone, we're going to have this full moon in Sagittarius. What you need to know for your Sagittarius full moon forecast. Hi, I'm Patricia Tate with willowgracemystic.com, and this is your June 2023 Sagittarius full moon forecast. So let's dive in. Aries sun and Aries rising. So a full moon occurs when the sun is opposite of the moon. And here we have the sun in your Gemini house. This is your third house, which is your lower education, things that are closer to home, travel that's closer to home, your neighbors, your siblings. And its opposite illuminates the moon in your Sagittarius house. That's your ninth house of higher learning, travel, education, spirituality, foreign people, places, and things. Now, this is important to understand how things can be revealed or that they're going to be shown to us. Because full moons, they're times of endings, culmination, and they're a promise of fulfillment that's going to be now revealed or shown to you. So, the moon, it reveals your feelings, your true feelings. There are always emotional times where we can experience endings and see the truth of things that have been concealed or revealed. Now, the sun is illuminating and shining on your third house, saying we need to take a look at things that are closer to home. This is you writing, and this is journaling, and this is going to parks and your travel. And this is highlighting these topics, and your moon being the house that things have been revealed. So now it's you fully realizing some things about wanting to travel, wanting to connect farther, wanting to understand maybe a certain spirituality, wanting to connect with people that are different than you or have different viewpoints than you, and being fully aware of what's been lacking or missing in your life. Now, this one is in relation to topics of learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, and traveling. These two signs being opposite represent your mental axis, where Gemini represents your love of change, being impulsive, being buzzing with ideas with, I want to write about this, I want to journal about this, I want to connect with this neighbor, I want to travel here. This is where you want to do all these things. It's connecting with the family and things that are closer to your home. Now, Sagittarius represents your quest for freedom. It's about idealism and optimism and wanting to connect with people that are having different viewpoints or different ideas. So this combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is all about air, to think logically, while your Sagittarius moon is fire with your intuition and thinking in bigger terms in order to see the bigger picture of things. Sagittarius symbolizes the quest for meaning and the ideas that expand upon the here and now in your life. Gemini is more about your immediate environment. It's close to home, it's your neighborhood, while Sagittarius, the full moon, is about wanting to venture out beyond it, to beyond what you already know, what you cannot see, what is yet to be revealed. This full moon is asking you to find this balance between these two energies so you can manifest your personal desires and goals. It represents all types of communication, phone, email, text, attitude, travel, car, bus, something that has been building inside of you. And now is the time that it's going to be illuminated and shown, and there's going to be this opportunity to let it out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean for you? The full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic and your intuition and your faith. This can be an emotional time with a sense that your emotions are going to be bursting forth with consciousness, having these opportunities of endings, culminations, fresh beginnings for the future. So expect topics of publishing, the law, legal matters, anything that's related to publishing or being completed at this time. This could also include classes or workshops or things that you have done either online or further abroad. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Taurus sun and Taurus rising. So a full moon occurs when we have the sun opposite of the moon because it's illuminating it. And so currently your sun is in your second house. It's your Gemini house. It's cash, property, your self-worth, things that you value. And its opposite is being illuminated. Your moon is in your Sagittarius house. That is your 8th house of shared resources, taxes, income, things that you share with other people. So this is important to understand how these things can be revealed or shown to you, because full moons are times of endings. They're culmination. It's a promise of a fulfillment, that you started something at the last new moon or the moon that was 6 months ago. The moon rules over your feelings, and so oftentimes full moons are emotional times where you can experience these endings and see the truth, and things that were concealed are now going to be revealed. The sun illuminates and is shining on your second house, saying, let's take a look at our self-worth. Let's take a look at our cash, our property. What do I value? What are my things that I am paying for that I personally own, or things that I want to purchase? And it's highlighting topics of your moon, your 8th house, of these are my shared resources. These are things that I have with other people. This is debt that I owe, or things that I have accrued with other people, so that you can be more fully aware of what has been lacking or missing in your life. And so this one is in relation to topics of learning, and you're going to experience ideas, or things are going to be revealed about wanting adventure, and wanting to dive into spirituality, communicating, sharing, travel. Jupiter sees the bigger picture, and it's about ending some things in this area in order to have these fresh beginnings. Now, these two signs, they represent the mental axis, where Gemini represents your love of change, being impulsive and buzzing with ideas, with your own self-worth and things that you love and you value. And with these ideas, the Sagittarius area of your life, where you are connected with others, where you share property with others, or share contracts, or have these deep commitments with other people. And this can be business or personal partnerships. Think of it as a quest for freedom, idealism, and wanting optimism, or experiencing wanting optimism in this area of your life. This combination is about using your Gemini sun, which represents air, thoughts, and ideas, so to think logically, while the Sagittarius moon is about fire and passion, and using your intuition to think in bigger and broader terms in order for you to be able to see the bigger picture of things. Sagittarius symbolizes it's the quest for meaning and the ideas to expand upon your here and now. Now, Gemini is more about your immediate environment, things that personally belong to you, close to home, your neighborhood. And Sagittarius is wanting you to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what you already know. So to be revealing of other people's, the connection that you have with other people, and to see some things that maybe you didn't know were part of what was going on. This full moon is asking you to find this balance between these two energies so you can manifest your personal desires and goals. It represents all types of communication, attitude, and travel. Something that's been building inside of you, and now it's time that these things are going to be illuminated with an opportunity for you to let some things out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean for you? This full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic and your intuition and your faith. This can be an emotional time, and because it's about a sense of your emotions and bursting forth into consciousness and having these opportunities for endings and culminations and fresh beginnings for your future. Now, in your 8th house, I want to go back over, this is your shared finances, your shared possessions, your shared resources. It can include anything from finances and loans, institutions where you have things connected with other people. A full moon in the 8th can signal an ending or a culmination in this area of your life. So maybe you're ending the child support, the alimony, the paying off the taxes, or ending this joint property matter. There could be a divorce settlement or a disillusionment of a business partnership. The 8th is also associated with inheritances. So this could be a time when an inheritance is finalized. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising. So a full moon occurs when the sun is opposite of the moon, because the moon does not have its own natural light. The sun illuminates it and reveals some things that were once hidden. And so your sun is in your first house of self, how you see yourself, how other people see you, the way you look, the way you act. It's your rising sign. Its opposite is illuminated. So that is your moon in Sagittarius. That's your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, your one-on-one, your clients. It's also the house of open enemies. Now, this is important to understand how these things can be revealed or shown to you, because a full moon, there are times of endings, culminations, and these promise of fulfillment, of which was started at the new moon. So you can think back a month ago and 6 months ago. The moon rules your feelings, so expect this to be an emotional time where you can experience some endings and see the truth of things as they are. They were once concealed and now are going to be revealed. The sun illuminates and is shining in all about you. It is focused on your feelings, you, how you look, how you dress, how you are, what you are called: mother, grandmother, Reiki master, teacher, guide, any of those, however you are known. And so it's highlighting these topics, and your moon is revealing these other things that you were not fully aware of. And that has to do with your partnerships and your relationships. Maybe there was something that was lacking or missing in your life. And this is in relationship to topics of learning and adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, and travel. So these topics are focused on you, but things that are going to be revealed about you with others. Now, these two signs represent the mental axis, because Gemini represents the love of change, you changing how you look, how you present yourself, new hairstyle, new clothes, new job, with your aspirations of things that you want to do, being impulsive, buzzing with ideas. Your Sagittarius area represents your quest for freedom, idealism, and optimism. That's with your partnerships. That's with your clients. That's with your friends. Now, this combination is about using this Gemini Sun air to think logically, while your Sagittarius moon is fire, for you to use your intuition and to think in bigger and broader terms of partnerships or that area of your life. Sagittarius symbolizes the quest for meaning and the ideas to expand upon the here and the now in this area of your life. Gemini is more about your immediate environment. It is literally all about you. It's you, it's close to home, and Sagittarius wants to venture out beyond who am I. It's who am I with a partner? Who am I with a client? Who am I with my friends? It wants to see beyond what you already know. So the full moon's asking you to find a balance between these two energies and to manifest your personal desires and goals. It represents all types of communication, attitude, and travel, something that's been building inside of you. And now this is the time that things are going to be illuminated, and there's going to be an opportunity to let some things out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? This full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic of, yes, this relationship is like this, or your intuition and your faith of, oh, I didn't understand this about this person, or I didn't realize what was going on. I was blinded by some things. Now, this can be a really emotional time with your sense of emotions bursting forth into your consciousness and having these opportunities for endings and culminations and fresh opportunity to start some things. And so for you, it's often linked to romantic relationships, but it can also include your business relationships. Remember that this would be close friends. There could be moving on to ending of one way that you see your relationship, and then ready to move on to the next stage of your relationship. Okay, we're no longer friends. We're going to move this on past the friend zone, or I'm sorry, not a friend zone, but move it on from a friend relationship into more of a partner or an intimate relationship. Or it could really be ending or breaking up of a relationship or a partnership or a relationship. Or it's a culmination that concerns not just your partner. This could be an ending that includes your partner, but not about you. But it will be you will feel the manifestation of it. So if your partner is having some kind of an ending, you will feel the energy of it. It's not just about you. And so with this could also be ending with some things that have to do with your clients, or your requiring you to not need the services of that client, or the client not needing your services anymore, or a work relationship that ends. Or basically it could be a falling out of a friendship or partnership, or it could be they are moving away. Your friend is moving further away, and so you're not going to have that tight, close relationship. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising. Now, a full moon occurs when the sun is opposite of the moon, and it is revealing some things that were once hidden. And so your sun is in your 12th house. It's your hidden house. It's the self-undoing. It's I am going within to figure some things out. It's about communicating, and it's your dreams and your intuition. And it's illuminating your 6th house. Now, the 6th house for you is your service to others. It's your daily activities. It's your health, mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. It also includes your pets. Now, this is important to understand how this full moon is going to be revealing or showing some things to you, because full moons, they're times of endings, culminations, and a promise of fulfillment of something that was started either 30 days ago or 6 months ago, something that was started at the new moon. Now, the moon, it rules your feelings, and so expect this to be an emotional time where you can experience endings and see the truth, and things that were concealed are now going to be revealed or come to the light. The sun is illuminating and shining on your personal hidden things, like your personal dreams, your personal intuition, you going within, meditating, your dreams. And it's highlighting these topics, and your moon being in your house of health, or needing some guidance or support, possibly from a mentor. These are things that are going to be revealed. It could be about your personal health. These are things that you need to be fully aware of, that you have been lacking or missing in your life. And now the time is finally going to be that, oh, the test has come in and now I know what this is. Now, this is also in relationship to topics of learning, educating yourself, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, and travel. These two signs, the Gemini and Sagittarius, they represent the mental axis, where Gemini represents your love of change. You being impulsive, you buzzing with these ideas of what do I want to privately dive into, the esoteric, the astrology, tarot. This is anything that has to do with spirit guides, or anything that has to do with dreaming. It also has to do with hidden topics that we just don't share with other people. Now, the Sagittarius area of your life, this is your quest for freedom, idealism, optimism. Wanting freedom with finding a balance between your work and your home. Idealism with, can I work from home? Can I do these things? Wanting to find a person who can support you and guide you, and then finding the information. Now, this could be holistically through a doctor, or having tests done to find out things that have been going on with your health. This is also, I'm going to say it about with pets. This combination is about the Gemini sun, the air, your thoughts and ideas, and thinking logically, while your Sagittarius moon is in a fire sign and using your intuition to think in bigger terms in order for you to see the bigger picture of what is really going on. What is your intuition really telling you, and following some things. Sagittarius symbols the quest for the meaning and the ideas to expand upon what is going on here and now in your life. Gemini is more about the immediate environment. It is close to home. It represents your neighborhood. It represents you going within. And with Sagittarius, it's wanting you to venture out and go beyond what you think you know, and possibly search out other avenues in order to get the answers to things that you need to know, to see beyond what we know. So the full moon is asking you to find this balance between these two energies so you can manifest these desires and these goals. Now, it also represents all types of communication, attitude, and travel. There's been something that's been building inside of you, and now is the time that things are going to be illuminated with an opportunity to let it out. Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? This full moon can reveal and illuminate this conflict that you have between logic and your intuition and your faith and your health. This can be a really emotional time for you, with a sense of your emotions that are bursting forth into your consciousness, having these opportunities for endings and culminations and fresh beginnings for your future. With your 6th house, this could be manifesting as an end concerning with health issues, or it could be a completion of a fitness goal that you've been working on, or a work assignment, or an end of a working relationship with colleagues, or maybe you're retiring, maybe you're moving, maybe you're resigning from your workplace. All of these topics, there can be an ending to, with an opportunity for a new beginning. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Leo sun and Leo rising. So a full moon occurs when the sun illuminates the moon, because the moon does not have its own natural light. And so it reveals things that were once hidden. It brings them to light. And the sun is opposite. So we have the sun in your 11th house, representing your friends, your social circles, your networks, your hopes, your dreams, things that you want to do. And then it's illuminating your 5th house of what brings joy to you. The 5th house is children, or being childlike. It's sex, and it is art and music and playing. It's all those things that it could be gambling. It is anything that brings joy to you, art, pleasure. And so this is important to understand how these things are going to be revealed and shown to you, because full moons, they're endings, they're culminations, they're a promise of fulfillment that was started at the new moon, so like 6 months ago or a month ago. The moon, it rules your feelings, and it's an emotional time where you can experience these endings with the truth of things that were once concealed are now going to be revealed to you. The sun illuminates and is shining on your 11th house. So maybe you have these new hopes and dreams, and it's shining on your 5th house, highlighting your personal, what brings joy to me. These topics of your moon, that you are now going to be fully aware of what has been lacking with these people that you have been hanging around with, or the groups that you associated with, in order to move you forward with your hopes and your dreams. There's been something missing, and this one is in relation to learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, travel, art, music. This could be gambling and things with children. Now, these two signs together, they represent the mental axis, where the Gemini, your 11th house, represents your love of change and being impulsive and buzzing with these new goals and hopes and dreams, and connecting with all these different people in your life to help move you forward with where you want to go. Now, the Sagittarius area of your life, your 5th house, is about your quest for freedom, idealism, and optimism of things that you want to start, This could be taking crafting that you're doing, and now I want to build upon it and sell these things. Or my music is really good, I think I can sell my music. Any of those topics. The combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air, your thoughts, your ideas, thinking logically, and your Sagittarius moon, which is fire and passion and intuition, to think like in bigger terms, or in to see the broader picture of things. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest. It's about your immediate environment, and you're close to home in your neighborhood, while Sagittarius wants you to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what you already know. Who are you already connected with? The full moon is asking you to find a balance between these two energies to manifest your desires and your goals. Of maybe you need to connect with a different group, or maybe you need to fine tune and tweak. What are your hopes and your dreams? Now, this full moon represents all types of communication, attitude, and travel. There's been something that's been building inside of you, and now it's going to be illuminated with an opportunity to let it out. Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? Now, the full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic of what do you know and your intuition and your faith of maybe what you have been ignoring, but you really need to pay attention to. This can be a really emotional time with a sense that your emotions are bursting forth into your consciousness, giving you these opportunities for endings, culminations, and fresh beginnings, for possibly things with your children, them moving out, you having a child, you acting childlike and enjoying going to parks, or this could be finishing school. This could be the result of you finishing an art project or a musical project. This is the house of creativity and fun. This is also the house of affairs, and there could be something that reaches an end, and now you're going to be moving past it. Maybe you are launching a social event, or there could be a sporting level that you've been part of that you have now achieved awards or things for this. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Virgo sun and Virgo rising. So a full moon occurs when the sun is opposite of the moon, and it reveals things that were once hidden or in the dark. And so now you have the sun is in your 10th house of career, how people see you in the outside public. This is your it's not your goals. This is your public life or the legacy that you want to leave behind. And it's illuminating your 4th house of home, family, your roots, your foundation. And it's important to understand how these two things are going to work to reveal or show to us some things that have to do with endings or culminations, because full moons, they're a promise of fulfillment of some things that were started at a new moon. Now, the moon, it rules over your feelings and so expect this to be an emotional time where you can experience endings or see the truth of things that were concealed, or they're now going to be revealed. You just didn't know that they were there, or other people were keeping them from you. Now, the sun illuminates and is shining in your 10th house. So the legacy of things that you want to leave behind, you at work, you in the public eye, you as a public standing. This is literally what you are doing, your career, your job. And it's highlighting these topics. And the moon being in your 4th house of home is, how do I find this balance? It reveals some things that you were just not fully aware of, or that you may feel that you're lacking, or that's missing from your life. One that's in relationship to topics of learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, travel, parents, home. And so these two signs represent your mental axis, where Gemini, your career, represents your love of change. It's being impulsive and buzzing with all these great ideas of what you want to do for your work, your job, and who you connect with. And Sagittarius, your home, represents your quest for freedom. I want to travel. I want to do this. People moving in, people moving out. Idealism, optimism. This combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air energy. So think about your thinking logically, And the Sagittarius moon, which is fire, using your intuition to think in bigger and broader terms, to see the picture. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest and your meaning and your ideas that you want to expand upon. What do I have here and now? Expanding upon your home, expanding upon like your family, kids coming in, kids going out, parents coming in. And Sagittarius wants to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what you already know now. The full moon is asking you to find this balance between these two energies to manifest your desires and your goals. It represents all types of communication, attitude, travel, because there's something that's been building inside of you. And now is the time that it'll be illuminated with an opportunity for you to let it out. This will be over the next 2 weeks. You're going to discover, what does this mean to you? The full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic of what you should do and your intuition and faith of what do I need to do? What do I desire to do? This can be a really emotional time with your sense of emotions like bursting forth with consciousness, having these opportunities for these endings and culminations and bringing these fresh beginnings for yourself. Now, remember that the fourth house, this can signal an ending with paying off a mortgage. It could be completion of real estate. There could be endings with parents. It could manifest as an ending with you retiring, you downsizing, becoming an empty nester with your kids moving out. This could be moving your house or moving to another country. It has everything to do with revealing an ending of some type with, there could be parents or children or downsizing, something that has to do with your home, maybe even selling it. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Libra sun and Libra rising. So a full moon occurs when the sun is opposite of the moon, and it reveals things that were once hidden. And so the sun is in your Gemini house, and your Gemini house is your ninth house of travel, foreign people, places, things, learning, education, the law. And it's illuminating some things that have to do with closer to home. It's your Sagittarius house. It is education, but closer to home. Your neighbors, it's your siblings. It is writing and journaling, but it's everything that is closer to your home. It's your neighborhood. And so this is important to understand how these things can be revealed or shown to you. Full moons, they're always times of endings or culminations or a promise of fulfillment of what you started at the new moon. Could have been 30 days ago or 6 months ago. The moon rules your feelings and your emotions. So expect that things can be emotionally felt at this time with these endings, because this is about the truth, and things that were once concealed are now going to be revealed to you. You just didn't see them. The sun illuminates and is shining on your house of, I want to travel. I want to connect with these people. I want to take these classes. I want to have this published. I want to do these things. And your moon being in your third house, this is revealing that you don't want to stay like with what is going on right now. You want to take it to the next level. It reveals things that maybe you are now going to become fully aware of what was lacking or what was missing in your life. And this one is in relationship to topics of learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, and travel. These two signs of Sagittarius and Gemini, they represent the mental axis in your life, where Gemini represents your love of change and being impulsive and buzzing with ideas. And this is literally you traveling or learning. And Sagittarius, it represents your quest for freedom, idealism, and optimism. And that is you close to home. And so this combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air, to think logically, while your Sagittarius moon is fire. So using your intuition to think in bigger terms in order for you to see the broader picture. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest for meaning and the ideas that expand upon your here and your now. Gemini is more about your immediate environment, and so close to home in your neighborhood. Well, Sagittarius, this is where you want to venture out beyond it to see what is beyond what you already now know. And so this full moon is asking you to find a balance between these two energies in order for you to manifest your personal desires and goals. It represents all types of communication, your attitude, your travel. There's been something that's been building inside of you, and now is the time that it's going to be illuminated with an opportunity for you to let it out. Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? It's going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic and your intuitional, your faith, with what I know, with what I think that I know, what I feel that I know. This can be an emotional time with a sense of your emotions bursting forth into your consciousness and having these opportunities of endings and culminations and these fresh beginnings for your future. And for you, this is having to do with something with siblings or educational courses or classes. It means your local neighborhood, your day-to-day travel, and it could signal an ending in all of these areas of your life. A full moon in this area is about your local neighborhood, or maybe something going on with a neighbor, maybe them moving away, or your day-to-day life is going to change because of a commute, or you maybe having a falling out with a neighbor, or with it could be an aunt, an uncle, or your siblings. But it's about revealing some things with your day-to-day life and a relationship that may come to an end with possibly a new beginning to come from it. Maybe your neighbor is moving away and now you have a new person moving in. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Scorpio sun and Scorpio rising. A full moon always occurs when the sun is opposite of the moon, and it literally reveals what's going on, or what was hidden, or what was in the dark that we didn't know was there. And so it's really important to understand that your Gemini house is where your sun is at, and that is your shared resources, your alimony, your child support, your connection with other people. It's the house of like the occult. It's your one-on-one contacts that you have with other people, but that you have contracts with them. Your moon is in your second house of my personal self-worth, my personal cash and property. It's things that belong to me. And so it's important for you to understand that what is going to be revealed or shown to you, because it's going to be a time of endings, a culmination, or a promise of fulfillment of which was started at the new moon or 6 months ago. Full moons. They reveal things. It's about our emotions, our feelings. They're an emotional time where we can experience these endings. It's about seeing the truth and things that were concealed or revealed. They were once hidden from you, and now it's just going to come out into the public. The sun is illuminating and shining on your resources that you have with other people. And it's going to be highlighting these topics. And your moon being in your second house is, how can I gain from this? Or it reveals some things that I need to be fully aware of that maybe was lacking or missing in that contract that I shared with somebody else. The topics can include learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, travel. These two signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, they are the mental axis, where Gemini, it represents your love of change and being impulsive. And this is in your combination with other people. It's about you buzzing with these ideas of, I have these thoughts, I have these ideas of, we could connect up with each other this way. Remember, it's the house of other people's resources that combine with you. And Sagittarius represents your quest for freedom. That is your second house of, what do you own? Wanting freedom, having this idealism, having this optimism about, what is this self-worth? What is my self-worth? This combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air, to think logically, and your Sagittarius moon, which is fire and passion and your intuition, to think in bigger terms in order to see the broader picture of what is really going on in your life right now. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest for your meaning and ideas that expand upon the here and the now. And Gemini is more about your immediate environment. It's your close to home, it's your neighborhood. And Sagittarius wants you to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what you already know. This full moon is asking you to find this balance between these two energies to manifest your own personal desires and goals that have to do with your resources and somebody else's resources. It's in conjunction to other people's things. So it represents all types of communication, attitude, travel, something that's been building inside of you, and now's the time that it's going to be illuminated with an opportunity to let it out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? This full moon can reveal or illuminate this conflict between your logic of what do you know and your intuition and faith of what are you feeling that you should follow. Now, this can be a really emotional time with a sense of your emotions bursting forth and changing your consciousness about having these opportunities for endings, culminations, and these fresh beginnings for your future. Now, because the full moon is in your second house, this could manifest as a time when you've reached some financial pinnacle, or that this goal that you've had, or an ending. It could be a time when you've saved up enough money to buy something, or a vacation, something that you've budgeted for, or a pay raise, or a bonus that you've had at work, or paying off a large debt. It has something to do with a culmination of this area of your life. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising. So a full moon occurs when we have the sun opposite of the moon, and it illuminates the things that were hidden, things that we just did not know that were there. And so that's important to understand, that you have this Gemini sun. It's in your seventh house of partnerships, relationships, your one-on-one, your best friends. And so it's illuminating everything that has to do with you, your first house, self. How do I look? How do I act? How do I present myself? How do people see me as I'm coming out into the world? And so it's important to understand this, because this is going to be a time of endings, a culmination, a promise of a fulfillment of what was started and began at the new moon, either a month ago or 6 months ago, something that you've been working on that has to do with you. The moon, it rules your feelings, and so this is going to be an emotional time where you're going to experience endings and see the truth, and things are going to be, that were once concealed, are now going to be revealed to you. The sun illuminates and is shining in your partnership sector. Now remember that this is your one-on-one, your best friends, your significant others, it's your clients, it's where you can sign contracts with other people, and it's your business partners. It's literally partnership. It's your 1+1 house, and it's revealing your everything that has to do with you. And it's going to be an emotional time, because it's you becoming fully aware of what has been lacking or missing from your life. And this one is in relationship to topics of learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, travel, partnership, relationships, and how you look, feel, and your body image, and changes that you have been going through. Now, these two signs represent the mental axis, where Gemini, the Gemini area of your life, represents the love of change, being impulsive, buzzing with ideas, and that's with your friends, your partners, your significant other. And the Sagittarius area, this is you, how you have a quest for freedom of how I am viewed, idealism and optimism about how you feel about life in general. And this combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air, thoughts, and ideas, to think logically, while your Sagittarius moon, which is fire. And this is using your intuition for thinking about in the bigger terms, and in order for you to see the bigger picture of what's going on. Sagittarius symbolizes the quest for meaning and the ideas that expand upon the here and the now. And Gemini is more about your immediate environment, close to home, neighborhood. And Sagittarius, this is you wanting to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what you already know. This full moon is asking you to find this balance between these two energies in your life to manifest your own personal desires and goals. So it represents all types of communication, your attitude, your travel. So something has been building inside of you. And now this is the time that it's going to be illuminated with you having an opportunity to let it out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? This full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic of what you know and your intuition and faith of what do I feel. And this can be a really emotional time with the sense that your emotions are like bursting forth into your consciousness, having these opportunities for these endings, these culminations, and these fresh beginnings for your future, because it's signaling an ending of a time for you that maybe you're finishing the final touches on things with your look, your image, maybe to your changes to your personality. This could be something that has to do with your health at this time. It's about finalizing or ending some things that are visible to others. Other people can see the transformation of what has been going on with you. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising. So a full moon occurs when we have the sun opposite of the moon, and it literally illuminates or reveals some things that you just didn't know were there, some things that were hidden or in the dark. And so it's important to understand this, that the sun is in your Gemini house, which is your 6th house of mentorship and mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. This is pets. This is you finding a balance between home and work. And its opposite is being illuminated with your moon in the Sagittarius house, which is your 12th house of hidden and secrets, and the house of undoing, and where I go for respite or to retreat. Now, it's important to understand how these things can be revealed or shown to us, because full moons, they're times of endings, culmination, a promise of fulfillment, things of which was started at the new moon. And the moon, it reveals your feelings, and they're very emotional times where you can experience endings and see the truth of things that were concealed and now are coming to light. So the sun illuminates and shines in your 6th area of your life with these topics of you having a mentor, you needing to connect with somebody else. This could be finding something with a doctor, or something with nutrition, or something that has to do with your health, or something that has to do with, I want to work from home. How do I make this happen? It's literally your day-to-day life activities, and it's your health, and it's vitamins and exercise, and it's also pets. And so with that, the moon reveals this is your hidden side, and it's about becoming fully aware of what has been lacking or missing in your life, of things that you just haven't revealed or shared with anybody. And this is in relationship to topics of learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, and travel, and finding some kind of a closure that has to do with those topics. These two signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, they represent your mental axis, where Gemini represents your love of change, always wanting to change your exercise routine, always wanting to change things up, being impulsive, buzzing with these ideas. Sagittarius represents your quest for freedom. How do you find that freedom? Through your dreams, your intuition, idealism, optimism. Remember, it's the house of connecting to spirituality. And so this combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air, to think logically, while your Sagittarius moon is fire, to use your intuition, to think in bigger terms in order for you to see the broader picture of what is going on in your life right now. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest for meaning and your ideas that expand upon what is going on here and now. Gemini is more concerned about your immediate environment. It's close to home, it's your neighborhood, and Sagittarius wants you to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what you already know. So this full moon is asking you to find this this balance between these two energies to manifest your personal desires and goals. It represents all types of communication, attitude, travel. There's been something that's been building inside of you, and now's this time that it's going to be illuminated with an opportunity to let it out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? The full moon reveals and illuminates this conflict between your logic of what do you know and your intuition and faith. What do I feel? This can be an emotional time with a sense of your emotions like bursting and coming out of your consciousness, having these opportunities for these endings, these fresh beginnings, because this is like the 12th house. This could be an ending with an addiction, a culmination of now I'm ready to leave this hospital. I'm healed. I'm healthy. I've had this low energy. It's about time. It's about this. This is also the house of jail. It's the house of where you go to that's in secret or in seclusion. And so it could be a completion of, like I said, an illness or something that has to do with a period of withdrawal. Maybe you withdrew in order to study and learn, and you had to buckle down, and now you're done with it, and now you can enjoy life again because that part is over. This is also associated with your energy and your dreams and your intuition. And so this full moon can open up new areas of your life with connecting to spirit guides or your ancestors, or a different learning that you have intuitively that maybe you had shut off. And that could be through the Akashic records, through astrology, through numerology. It could be through astral travel. It could be past life regressions. It is coming out and revealing and bringing an end to some things. And it's also going to, when this is over, give you more energy and more faith and more optimism. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Aquarius sun and Aquarius rising. So a full moon is when the sun illuminates the moon and it reveals things that were hidden or beyond what we could see, and now things come to light. And so your Gemini house is your 5th house of fun and joy. This is where your sun is at. It's about things that bring you joy. It's the house of sex and children, or being childlike, and art and music and creativity. And the moon is in your 11th house of your personal wishes and hopes and dreams, and the circles in which you run in, the groups in which you participate in order for you to manifest your hopes and your dreams. It's important for you to understand how these things are going to be revealed in order to show you where these endings are going to be. Full moons, they're endings, they're culminations, they're a promise of a fulfillment that was started at a new moon, which was either 30 days ago or 6 months ago. The moon rules your feelings. And so full moons are always emotional times where you can experience these endings and see the truth of things that have been concealed or hidden, and now they are revealed. So the sun, it illuminates and is shining on what brings you joy. This is where you are possibly starting on something with art or music, and wanting to possibly sell it, and or going to concerts, or acting childlike, or having children, or something that has to do with your children. And so it's highlighting these topics, and your house of your moon is, do these topics still relate to my personal hopes, wishes, and dreams? And are the people that I am connected with still connected with my own personal, with what brings me joy? It's going to reveal things that, so you can be fully aware of what you have been lacking or what has been missing in your life. This can be in relationship to topics of learning, adventure, spirituality, communicating, sharing, travel, your networking, your hopes, your dreams, Now, these two signs, Gemini and Sagittarius, they represent the mental axis of your life, where Gemini represents your love of change. And this is with children and affairs and things that you're creative with, and music and being impulsive and having all these great ideas of let's try this and I want to get involved in this. And Sagittarius represents your quest for freedom and your idealism and your optimism in these groups that you run with or that you're part of, and in your hopes and your dreams of things that you want to make happen. This combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is your air, your thoughts and your ideas, in order to think logically, while your Sagittarius moon represents fire of needing to connect to your intuition. Needing to think in bigger terms in order to see the broader picture. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest for meaning and ideas that expand upon more than your here and now. Gemini is more about the immediate environment. It's close to home. It's what you are doing. You're learning close to home. While Sagittarius wants you to venture out beyond it, to see beyond what do you already know, to connect with foreign people, places, and things. And this full moon is asking you to find a balance between these two energies in your life in order for you to manifest your dreams and your goals. It represents all types of communication, attitude, and travel. Something that's been building inside of you, and now is the time that it's going to be illuminated for this opportunity for you to let it all out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean for you? This full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict between your logic of what do I know and your intuition and faith of what do I feel. This can be an emotional time with a sense of your emotions bursting forth and a consciousness about having these opportunities of endings and culminations and fresh beginnings for your future, because this is about who you're associated with, your groups, friends, organizations, and a full moon here can signal an ending in these areas of your life. It could manifest as, I have a friend who moves away, or you leave a group, or you leave an organization that you belong to. It could also be that one of your friends or one of your groups that you belong to, that has shifted and that has changed. It's maybe you've completed a work project and now you're no longer working with those people. It's also the house of your hopes and dreams, so it could mean at this time that there's some sort of culmination or an achievement of this dream that's now been achieved, and now it's time to set new goals, new hopes, and new dreams for the future. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Pisces sun and Pisces rising. So a full moon occurs when the sun illuminates the moon, and it reveals some things that were hidden behind it, that it was dark, and now we can see. Now things come to the light. And so we have the sun in your fourth house of family, home, your foundation, your roots, your genealogy. It's people who live in your home. And the opposite is being illuminated with your moon in your 10th house of career, your job, your legacy, of how you are seen in the outside world. It's really important for you to understand how things can be revealed or shown to you, because this full moon is a time of endings, culmination, promise of a fulfillment of which something was started at the new moon. The moon, it rules over your feelings and your emotions, and so these endings of things that were concealed or hidden from you are now going to come out or be revealed. The sun illuminates and is shining on everything that has to do with people that are in your home, or children that are in your home, or parents that maybe are in your home. It is you or your property or your real estate. It highlights topics that are all about anybody that is within that area of your life. And your moon being in the opposite, it's revealing some things about needing to find a balance, being more fully aware of what you've been lacking or what's been missing in your life. And maybe this is in relationship to learning or adventure or spirituality or communicating or share. This could be sharing and traveling, because it's the opposite of, it's you in the outside world. It's you with your career, you with your job, you with your legacy. Now, these two signs together, they represent the mental axis of your life. Where you have Gemini, your home, it represents a love of change. You being impulsive with redecorating, moving, buzzing with these great ideas of anything that has to do with house and home and relating to genealogy. And Sagittarius represents your quest for freedom, your career, your idealism, your optimism about how things can be in the outside world with the legacy that you want to leave behind. This combination is about using your Gemini sun, which is air, to think logically, while the Sagittarius moon is fire. And this is about using your intuition to think in bigger terms and to see a broader picture. Sagittarius symbolizes your quest for meaning and the ideas that you want to expand upon what is going on here and now. And Gemini is more about your immediate environment, your home, what's close to your neighborhood. Sagittarius wants to venture out beyond it and to see beyond what you already know. Now, this full moon is asking you to find a balance between this home and work, these two energies, in order for you to manifest your desires, your goals. It represents all types of communication, attitude, and travel, something that's been building inside of you, and now is the time that it's going to be illuminated with an opportunity to let it out. So over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover, what does this mean to you? This full moon is going to reveal and illuminate this conflict that you've had between your logic, what you're thinking about home, and your intuition and faith, your feeling about career. Now, this can be an emotional time with your sense of emotions bursting forth into consciousness, having opportunities for endings, culminations, and a fresh beginning for your future. Now, for you, I love that this could be an ending that concerns with your career of transferring from one to another. This could be getting fired. This could be retiring. Remember that this has to do with your public attention. And so this could be you in the outside world and things happening in a public way. The fourth house it's literally you, and this could be resigning. This is everything that has to do with you and where people are going to see you in the public eye. Definitely something with career, and it could be an easy shift, or it could be you saying, I'm going to take the reins and I plan on leaving this job. I want to transfer here, or I want to retire from this, or I'm ready for this career. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe.